Nas dead. Oh, hope this isn't a troll. Oh, got you. I'm sorry. All right. You talking about the title. Oh, no. But we're gonna get to that and very, very soon. But thanks for dropping in. That's Trouble Woman, which is my first responder. What's up, Trouble Woman? If you guys, I see it's a few people in the skybox. If you guys can drop down and interact with me, that's cool. And like the video while you're here. But I have a video I would like to share with you. It stood out to me because it kept coming up. So this story, it kind of dates, well, not kind of, it dates back to February of this year. And it started out with a missing report. And the way I'm going to walk you guys through the story is the exact same way, like in the same chronology that I received it and why it stood out to me, because it just kept coming up. Also happened locally here in my city, so of course that stood out. Then there's some other behind the scenes shit that I don't want to get into. But my city is a small fishbowl. But here goes. So I'm gonna start the story out with the missing report. This is what I ran into, guys. Just watch it, look at it. This is what I saw. This is going back to February, probably the beginning. So the February report, it only detailed the crime itself, the particulars about the crime, without mentioning any suspects in mind. But come some days ago, July the 1st, just recently, I caught up with this news report. Take a look.
Family members tonight remembered a man who police say was killed to stop him from revealing his same-sex relationship. Tonight, they held a vigil where Naasire Johnson's body was...
I kind of walked you into it wrongly, but that's fine. Here goes. Let me go in and out. Here goes. All right. Sorry about that. Okay, so here goes. I think this is how I got it. Let's see. So dating back 5 months ago, going back roughly around February, the month of February of this year, there was a young guy, 20 years old in my city, that was found shot in the neck, dumped somewhere, and burnt. His body was burnt. And the authorities had a problem identifying him originally, but then they did identify him. And this is the
Philadelphia police say they have identified the remains discovered on Kelly Drive last week. Investigators say the victim was 20-year-old Naasire Johnson. His grandmother reported him missing 2 weeks ago and held a vigil in Spring Garden to raise awareness about his disappearance on Saturday. Police found his remains on February 20th off of Kelly Drive. Detectives tell Eyewitness News he'd been shot once in the neck. The investigation is ongoing.
That's sort of kind of how I wanted to walk you guys through the story, but it doesn't matter if I screwed up on the chronology, so long as you get all the portions. But it actually started out with a missing report. So first, this 20-year-old guy was missing, so that was the first thing that came out, was a missing report. And then later, some weeks later, maybe 2 weeks later, because he had stayed with his grandmother. But then 2 weeks later, his body was discovered. And that was the video or report that I just showed you guys. And this was the report. So when they found his body, they didn't have any suspects at the time. But recently, maybe like 5 or 6 days ago, this is what I came into. So the February report, it only detailed the crime itself, the particulars about the crime, without mentioning any suspects in mind. But come some days ago, July the 1st, just recently, I caught up with this news report. Take a look.
Family members tonight remembered a man who police say was killed to stop him from revealing his same-sex relationship. Tonight, they held a vigil where Naasire Johnson's body was discovered along Kelly Drive Park. Police say Johnson, Kylan shot and killed Johnson and set the body on fire. Family members say they will continue justice for Johnson.
Right. So I'm still on a delay. So I do want to play you the original, going back to the first report I ever heard where he was just missing. Let me see if that plays well. I want to get all these portions out.
The very time I ever heard the name Naasire Johnson was actually in the missing persons report. It stood out to me because it was a black man. And when I say black first, I don't make it this pretty thing of privileged classes, and I don't limit it to heterosexuals. So I embrace it in its totality. So it stood out to me, and I'm like, who is this missing person that they're speaking about? Not knowing I would come into other things later.
First video I should have played you guys, but I'm having some technical issues with my videos here and my device. So there it is. I looked into it further. So he wound up being killed somewhere inside. They didn't know it initially, but his body was dumped somewhere. And then they later caught up to his alleged, this is how I'm supposed to say it, the alleged killer or murderer, whatever. So I looked into it, and here's the article I found. I kind of want to stay away from all this other shit that I know. But it says, Philadelphia man charged with killing gay lover and burning his corpse. And then it says, a North Philadelphia man has been arrested and charged with murder for allegedly shooting a man to death and setting his corpse on fire, which police claim he did to conceal an intimate relationship he was having with his victim. Kylan Pratt, 20 years old, that's the name of the alleged killer, has been charged with murder, possession of an instrument of crime, abuse of a corpse, and tampering with evidence in the death of 20-year-old Naasire Johnson. I know it's spelled like Naasire, but I listened to his family speak, because they held all these vigils. Like even when he was like reported missing, his family was like out, like having press conferences and things like that, trying to get the word out. So they pronounce his name Naasire. But Naasire Johnson, who was shot fatally in the neck before his body was set alight. Police found Johnson's remains on February the 20th on a cobblestone trail near the intersection of Brewery Hill and Kelly Drives in Fairmount Park. Homicide Captain Jason Smith told the Philadelphia Inquirer that cell phone records were key in revealing the motive behind Johnson's death. Those records led to Pratt, who dated women as well as men. Smith alleges Pratt killed Johnson to prevent him from telling anyone about their relationship. Johnson, who was openly gay, was last seen the night of February the 17th, according to his grandmother, Cynthia Johnson, who had raised him since infancy. Cynthia Johnson said her grandson called an Uber and left the family's West Philadelphia home that evening, but she did not know where he was going. Yeah, it sounds about typical. When he did not return the next day, she reported him missing to police. That same day, a friend of her grandson told her that Naasire had been in a relationship with a man called 29th Street Rich. She later learned that was Pratt's nickname, the grandmom said. Cynthia Johnson said a detective told her that her grandson's cell phone was pinged at 12:20 a.m. in the 2900 block of Oxford Street, where Pratt lives. Same home. Police claim that Pratt allegedly shot Johnson at his home and moved his body to the trail in Fairmount Park, which is about a mile away, before setting it on fire. I'm gonna stop there. And I dug a little deep to find out a picture. That's when it kind of got deep for me, of this Kylan Pratt dude that was going by the nickname 29th Street Rich. A lot of trade like dudes actually use nicknames. They don't really give you their governments, even with people that they deal with. Interesting. Let me look towards the chat real quick. Welcome, Dr. Soap, Nessa. How are you? Zion Movements, Tammy Lynn. Thanks for dropping in. It's my first time seeing you here. Detach myself. How you doing? I just didn't want to ignore you guys. Yeah, I'm in Philly. Tammy. Yeah. So yeah. So I just wanted to share that story about him. I mean, he was dealing with a different breed, and according to the friend who told the grandmother that there was something going on. This is all hearsay, but there's something was going on between the two where Naasire was going to possibly divulge his relationship with Kylan, with 29th Street Rich. And 29th Street Rich was not an open man. And they said actually he dealt with females, you know. It's one thing about these black homosexual men that chase after these hyper masculine guys, or not even just chase after, however they get them, because sometimes the gay man is the one being sought after, but who get with these hyper masculine guys who are not really identifying. It doesn't even matter. I guess it's enough for the gay man that this person is practicing queer sex, right? They're practicing it, but they're not identifying. And a lot of these people aren't open. And the one thing with these tradie guys, a lot of them are super paranoid and not comfortable. They're very insecure. And those I think some people kind of underestimate just how deep the insecurities run with some of these people, where they could actually turn that way. Because I've seen it so many times, and I've seen people issue warnings like like even when nothing was going on, but saying don't ever let it be, don't ever let this get out, don't ever have me find out you mentioned anything, like saying this to their partner. So it turned out that he was killed by someone he was dealing with. And he kept it so much under wraps. I'm glad he told his friend about it. I'm glad he had a friend. Sometimes people don't have that set up, but his grandmother, who raised him since infancy, didn't even know. He was running out to see his man, and all she knows is that he left in a Uber. I'm about to bail out of here. That seems like a wrap. Let me look to the chat just to see that it's hard to live that way. Why not just let yourself be free to be what you are? Exactly. I'm with that, walking your truth, especially past a certain. Look, I don't personally know the Kylan dude that goes by the name 29th Street Rich, but I've seen him. and I know exactly where I have seen him. And is it but this city is like a small fucking fishbowl. But no, I'm not surprised that he turned out to be that way, but I would imagine that those people who are around him, who feel like they know him, like, because they would know him much better than I do, I'm sure they probably would have never put together what he was doing. But you can see that and the pictures of the guy Naasire, that he was kind of like on the soft side, like he had the little jeans and just his appearance a bit, like with the cuts in it. We've seen Kiki do that. He had a little twist in the head. We've seen Kiki do that. A little gloss, lip gloss, on lips. But I'm about to hop off of here, you guys, to wrap this shit up. My warning is deal with open men who can walk in their truth, or just open partners, period. Stop chasing these widows who don't like what it is that they do. If you don't like it, don't do it. That's my advice, but I'm about to hop off here. Again, thank you guys so much. Let me get some music to go out with. If you guys can thumb up the video and do that free thing for me, appreciate it. I'm also on the road to 1,000 and beyond, but first I got to get to 500 so I can get my community board, and I'm less than 50 subs away from getting my own community board. So please make sure that you subscribe if you aren't. Thank you. Right now. Oh, wait a minute. I didn't show you the guy. There you go. So that's Kylie. I've seen him. All right.